All right, good morning, sixth graders. So a couple of notes today on criteria and constraints, and then just a short classwork. All right. So today's question, you can write this down. Why aren't there any buildings that are 10,000 feet high? So you're going to be answering this question in your classwork today, talking about the criteria and constraints that would lead to that. Okay, 3 vocabulary words. The first one, criteria, is a set of guidelines for a project. For example, the building should be 100 feet high. A constraint is a limit on a project. For example, the building can only be made of wood. So we'll go over another example because I think this is hard to understand without actually seeing some examples. But basically, criteria is anything that like the goals of a project or a design, whereas the constraints are anything that you can't go past. Okay, so an example that that the school is working on right now is CCSE construction. So in 6th Street, they're doing some work, hopefully right now, although maybe not with coronavirus, but there will be some work done because, among many other things, we want there to be a cafeteria. So us wanting there to be a cafeteria at CCSC is a criteria of the design because that's just a goal of what we want the project to have. The biggest limiting thing for almost any building project is always going to be that you only have a certain amount of money to spend, right? So CCSC is working with a public budget. That means that they only have a certain amount of money to spend, but even a big company is always going to set a constraint on the amount of money that they're going to spend building a new building. So money is almost always an example of a constraint. All right. Last vocabulary word is iterative design. This is the process of completing a design, testing it, and improving it again and again and again. Engineers are constantly improving their designs, whether that means that they draw something, think about whether it would work, and then draw it again, or they actually go all the way through building something, realize that there are some improvements that can be made, and then build it again. All right, so you are going to do the 5-4 classwork. I want to talk about the final question in the classwork a little bit more because I want you to answer it in a specific way. So remember, the final question will be this. Why aren't there any buildings that are 10,000 feet high? So I want you to really think about whether that is talking about a criteria or a constraint. I want you to bring one of those words into your answers. So why in the world there are no buildings that are even close to 10,000 feet high, and I want you to think about what a criteria or constraint around that might be. Okay? We have live class tomorrow at 2 p.m. like normal, and I will see you then. Hope you are doing well.